Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the International Sister Circle, our Sunday discussions. We're so happy to have you here one more Sunday. We thank you all for joining us once again. If you are new here to our show, welcome. It's lovely to have you here with us. And if you don't already know, please video, share this video with someone who you might know who this may be of interest to. Subscribe to the Black Ice TV7 channel, where you'll have lots more content that you may be interested in, and someone that you know may be interested in. If you've never heard of us, ISC International Sister Circle, go over to our website, which is www.internationalsistercircle.com, or you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and that is at International Sister Circle. I'm so happy to be here once again, and we've got a treat in store for you this week. I am going to have a panel introduce yourself. Our guest that we have on the show for today. So we'll leave our special guest until last to introduce herself. But just to give you a little bit of background before she will talk to us, her name is Queen Esther. She is a beautiful queen who is part of the Queen Afua University Wellness Camp. She's the dean, and she also is into everything about the moon. So she's going to talk to us about that further. You can see her looking beautiful and radiant. I had a conversation with her a couple of days ago, and literally I went from like here to here. Like the vibration was just on a different level. She had so much energy, so much love, and I can't wait for you guys to actually be able to experience that for yourself. So without any further ado, my name is Jaisha. I am one of the facilitators of International Sister Circle, one of the leaderships, along with some other beautiful queens. And again, I'm so happy to have you here. We'll go with Nikema. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Queen.
Greetings, everybody, and greetings, Queen. I'm happy to be here. So my name is Nikema. That's what people refer to me as. I work in mental health, and I'm thankfully, part of the International Sister Circle. And I'm so excited. I'm trying to calm down. But yeah, thank you for having me, guys. I'm honored, and yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Kaya?
Peace, everyone. How are you doing this morning? Well, afternoon there. My name is Kai French. I'm an astronumerical analyst. I study the science of astrology and numerology. I'm blending both together to give you a reading based off your birthday, your relationship, personal year, cycles, to go into more into details. But that is what I do, is the science of numerology and astrology, all the way from Detroit, Michigan.
Thank you, Queen. Renisha?
Greeting, my beautiful sisters. My name is Renisha. What we do, we're Carrie's Guardian Angels, which we do is we help everybody in different walks of life, letting them have that freedom of knowing that they're not being judged, that somebody's there to listen to them. So we work with different aspects as far as from children all the way up to the elders. And this young lady next to me is one of my board members, and she's such a beautiful soul. And she is here with me today to meet the Queen. And we want to thank you so much for inviting us along on this journey. And thank you for letting us be a part of this sister circle.
Thank you for being here. Thank you, Queen. And young Cal.
Good afternoon, Cosmic Sisters. I'm so happy to be here. Happy to meet Queen Esther, and happy to be amongst you wonderful, talented, majestical ladies. Thank you, Black Ice, for letting me be here today. I haven't been here for a while, but I'm excited like yourself. I'm a hairdresser. And yeah, I'm just trying to embrace who I really am. So yeah, I'm just open today, excited.
Thank you, Queens. And our guest speaker today is Queen Esther. Go ahead, Queen, and introduce yourself.
I'd like to just say I'm so honored and happy to be in this sister circle today. I am Queen Esther. I am the Dean of Queen Afua's Sacred Women's School. I am also the founder of Healing by the Light of the Moon. I am a Pisces, so I'm concerned about the whole thing working together in
Come on.
and in harmony. And I'm just here to share with you all today, to hear what you say, to hear what I say, and to hear what we say to move our people forward around the globe. I'm honored to be here, and I give thanks for Black Ice TV today for allowing us, and our brother Terry for facilitating and supporting us. Give thanks.
Thank you. So just a little bit, just to talk a little bit why we've got the beautiful Queen Esther on our show today. For those of you who have been following us on a journey, you know that for the last couple of weeks, we've been promoting our Sacred Woman or Queen Afua Sacred Woman program, which is due to start September 13th. So if you are not already registered, you can go to our website, which is International Sister Circle, and you can register there. And find more information about what the program is about and how you can benefit from taking this program. Also, you can email us at sacredwoman@internationalsistercircle.com. One of our team members will get back to you if you need a one-on-one conversation about the program before you do go ahead and register. Someone is at hand to answer all your questions. Also, we had Queen Afua on the show, I think about 2 weeks ago. So we had Queen Afua herself come onto the show. That was such a blessing in itself to actually, see her and speak with her and get some insight. As you can see in my background, I have the book. I haven't actually taken the program myself, so I'm looking forward to the program coming up. But as I was saying on the last show, I was actually introduced to Queen Afua and her teachings about a year ago. And this was before I even International Sister Circle was even thought about or anything like that. And I kept coming into contact with people who kept mentioning this name, kept mentioning this book. And for me, when I hear something more than once, I take heed and I listen. I think, okay, the universe is trying to tell me something. Listen to what is the message that is there. And so I bought the book and I started reading the book. And at the time, I think there was a program that was coming up, and I was like, I've read the book. I am not ready to take the program. But as we had a discussion last week, sometimes you just need to put yourself into that uncomfortable position. And even if you're not fully ready, pushing yourself to become ready. There's so much teachings within this book that is life-changing, and just being able to go through the program, I think, is even going to elevate myself even more, and any other queen who is considering it. If you haven't done so already, I urge you to, one, as I said, if you need more information, to email us at sacredwoman@internationalsistercircle.com, and one of our team will get back to you about more information if you have any questions. Our Queen Majestic has come on, so she'll be showing her face shortly, but she's an actual practitioner of the Sacred Woman program and teaching. So she is all things Sacred Woman. So she is the best person to speak to, along with Queen Esther, again, the Dean of the university. Hey, Majestic. Hey, Queen. And so we want Queen Esther to come onto the show to be able to shed more light about the program from her perspective. And just to any questions that you may have, anyone who is viewing today, if you have any questions, to take the opportunity today to do so. And again, if you have not joined us before, so I can see someone in the comments, Teresa, the book is Sacred Woman. It's by Queen Afua herself. If you haven't read the book before, there we go. If you haven't read the book before, this is the book. If you go to our website, you send us an email. If you would like a book, we can actually, you can get in contact with us to actually purchase one as well, along with the rest of the products by Queen Afua. Majestic, before we go any further, introduce yourself, Queen. You're on mute, darling.
Greetings of peace, sisters. Queen Esther, mother. Yes, I was backstage just hearing everyone and feeling the energy. We give thanks and praise always to the Most High. I'm honored to be in the presence of Mother Queen Esther. Phenomenal woman, master teacher, a wellness warrior, astrologist. I can continue, but of course, Queen, just to be in the presence of you, it's just elevating within itself every single time. Even if I'm all the way in Toronto, Canada, we still feel the energy. So I'm honored to be here with the other sisters as well on the panel, and our audience watching, welcome once again. We are the ISC, always connecting soul by soul around the globe. So today I'm excited. Give thanks.
Ashe. Thanks and praises. Beautiful, majestic. Ashe.
Thank you, majestic. Thank you. So let's go into it. I know that you gave us an introduction, Queen Esther, but can you go into a little bit more depth on how you got into this work and how you started doing and becoming so powerful in what you do?
Well, before we go forward, I would just think it would be wonderful just to salute our ancestors. As Majestic said, give thanks and praises to the Most High. It's always good to start at the very beginning. And just by acknowledging our ancestors, the ones who came before us, who brought us to where we are, whenever we acknowledge our ancestors, we bring them life. We bring them energy to continue this work because we are now the living ancestors. So if I may briefly just go ahead and salute some of our wonderful ancestors. I'm talking about our mothers, our grandmothers, our greater-grandmothers, our greater-grandfathers, our great. There's a lot of greatness amongst us. And if each of us think about all the ancestors we each have individually, along with those ancestors that have been doing the work, the beloved Harriet Tubman that has been doing the work, and our beloved Dr. King, and so many leaders have been doing, Malcolm X, so many, our own, and just call your own ancestors to bring them into the space, to open the space, to let us get on the same wavelength in the spirit, in the reality, just to take this to the next level and be in order. So everyone just call upon your ancestors. We give thanks. Ashe, I call upon Rebecca Flood. I call upon Albert Hunter. Call your ancestors, your greater greats. Ashe, just to acknowledge them. We thank you. We give thanks and praises. We give thanks and praises. Ashe, we give thanks and praises. Yes, that is officially opening the way, So we are very grateful. Give thanks and praises. We open the way to begin our communication today. Give thanks and praises, beloved majestic. We salute our ancestors.
Harriet Tubman.
Ashe, give thanks and praises. Ashe.
Mother Tainetta Muhammad.
Ashe, give thanks and praises.
Rosa Parks.
Let's give thanks and praises. We are both saluting at the same time. We call on the beloved Marcus Garvey. Yes, call on Toussaint Louverture. And again, your own personal ancestors as well. Ashe? Yes. Ashe? Ashe. Ashe. Give thanks, beloveds. Ashe. Give thanks for allowing us. Yes. Give thanks and praises. Yes. So you all may be excited about seeing me, but I want you to know that I am just as excited about seeing you. You are my reflections, and I am your reflection. So we are one. And this whole day is about us coming into oneness. And this is why I'm so thankful. We're coming together from Toronto, from the US, from the UK, from Africa, from the Caribbean, from the world. We are beginning to unite our people. And this is such a wonderful time for us to unite across the globe, because one of our biggest challenges has been unity, because when we are divided, we have no strength. One of the wonderful works, persons of our Queen Afua, the Sacred Woman information is so vital because it puts us on the same page, the same wavelength. We begin to communicate on the same tone. We speaking the same language, you know, and the woman is the mother. And when mother is in order, the whole house is in order. And we can look at the planet, you see, and see what the trouble the planet is in right now, the chaos, the killing, the murder. All of these things are with mainly the male influence, and the mother's influence has not been in order. We haven't had the mother, the love, the nurturing, the family, the unity, the compassion. And this is why the planet is in chaos right now. And until the mother comes into her seat, and Ma'at, where we have the king and we have the queen, where we have balance, everything will be out of order. So Queen's work is so vital because it raises up the woman. It raises up the mother. And when the mother raises up, we're able to get everything in order. The gateways, you know, in Africa, we have rites of passage. You know, from the time we are 13, 14, we go through the rites of passage. What does it mean to be a good woman? How do we become a good wife? How do we protect ourselves? How do we feed our family? There's so much information when we go through rites of passage in Africa as a teenager. But unfortunately, many of us in the diaspora have not been through the rites of passage. We've been kind of fumbling in the dark, trying to find our way without guidance, without mentoring, without leadership on how to be a woman, how to take care of ourselves, you know, just to know our power. So rites of passage comes to us from sacred women to teach us, even as mature women, how to get in order. From gateway to gateway to gateway, from our ancient ancestral work. We learn about the power of the womb, the seed of our creation, what that means, how to protect. This is our reproductive system, how we bring life forward, and how we care for the womb. We learn about our Tahuti, our mouth. What are we saying? What are we speaking into the universe? Our words have power. So what are we energizing from our mind to our thoughts coming out of our mouth? This power of Tahuti. You know, what are we eating? What are we ingesting into our systems? Because whatever we're ingesting is ingesting us. We're feeding off of how we nourish our body. So we have to know how to eat the right foods and drink the right things and purify the systems, how to detox. We learn that in the gateway of Ta'ert. We're moving forward. We go into the gateway of Best. How are we flowing? How are we dancing? How are we dancing through our life? You know, and I've been dancing for over 40 years, and I'd like us to see our life as a continuous dance. So there's fluidity, there's grace, there's power, there's rhythm, you know, that's our dance. Forward on, we go into the gateway of our beautiful Heteru. How do we beautify ourselves? How do we adorn ourselves? How do we take care of ourselves? How do we love on ourselves in so many ways? And how do we heal our inner child? That young girl who had the first impressions of what it means to be a feminine. How do we go back and nurture and heal that young girl? We go on into Nebuchadnezzar. The gateways go all the way up. So each gateway gives us a different set of information, taking care of your space and so forth and so on. So when you do enter the Sacred Woman, you will learn each of the gateways. You will go through a week of the training to get an in-depth understanding of what that gateway represents. So by the time you ascend and come to the final gateway, now you have elevated all the way through to your Meshkanet. How can we take our gifts and make a living off of who we are? So often we are working for other people. We are working every day for other people, and we're building other people's empire, but building our own. So we look forward to bring you into Sacred Women to give you that training, definitely, as a foundation.
Give thanks and praise, Queen Esther. I wanted to just second that, being that that was, of course, the rites of passage, the first program that I experienced. And so it really does activate and align you with yourself, the nature. And with the busyness of the world, we become so distracted. And so it reminds us of our divinity, of our sacredness. And so just my personal experience of actually taking and going through the gateways, every single time the gateways would truly ascend, I would feel and experience the ascension And then, of course, our grand celebration and we're attuned with all of the sisters, the lotus scent. It is so divine. So I encourage and the support. You know, we have the grand masters, right? We have the mentors, and of course, I ended up taking the practitioner's course because the beauty in supporting the other women to go through their program was humbling and an honor. So those who are listening and watching, I encourage you all, sign up for the Sacred Woman program. We are here. You know, not everyone in the ISC has taken and experienced the program, but there are sisters that will be going on their journey this season. And so I am here to support you all on that journey. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But thank you for that sharing, Queen Esther.
That's one of the aspects. One of the benefits is getting the knowledge which you will always have in your life. And one of the other major benefits for me is unifying the sisters, building your sisterhood around the globe, building women who are on the same page with you mentally, who have gone through what you've gone through, who can support you, help us grow, and help us come together. We're striving to build cities of wellness. You know, wherever we may live, there's so many negative things going on, but there are also so many positive things going on. And you know, when you're coming into the line of being a vegetarian, being a vegan, taking care of yourself, it's nice to sister with women who are also on the same path with you to strengthen you becoming your best self. You know, we're striving to bring women into their queendom. We're the original queens of the planet Earth, and we have to learn what that means. You know, I was thinking earlier, just to sum up what I wanted to say, we all must agree, or I would ask everyone on the panel if we would all agree that Africa is our mother. Africa is our mother, you know, and coming into the West, you know, it's like the United has become our father, the UK has become our father, France has become our father, but Africa is still our mother.
Ashe.
No, our mother. And it is so vital now that we come together, because what happened to our mother 400 or 500 years ago, she was not protected. And we see the result of Africa not being protected, and she was dissected and just torn apart on so many levels. And now when the world is going through a major shift, it is time that everyone is waking up and we can see what is happening globally. And now again, it is time for us to come to protect our mother. So this is so important that we focus on where our root is. If we know that that is our mother, at this time we need to go and protect our mother. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the circles are so important. There's so many things we're focusing on, but we have to remember our roots. We have to come into our culture. You know, even if you were adopted as a child, you know, and you said, I've been adopted, but my adopted parents, they take so much good care of me. They love me. They educate me. They strengthen me. I mean, I might want to stay with my adopted parents. But if you've been adopted and you've not been treated good, and you've been beat down, and you've been hurt, and you've been dismantled, and you've lost all that makes you who you are, then maybe I better go back to my mother, okay?
And when we honor our mother is pleased. And honoring thyself, taking care of thy womb, practicing the spiritual disciplines and tools that is given in the Sacred Woman textbook, the book itself, right? Mother Africa is well pleased. Our ancestors are well pleased with us when we build upon the foundation.
Exactly. So we are excited because we're putting circles together. So Queen has built the work Sacred Women. I have founded a work called Healing by the Light of the Moon. And for me, that is another way for us to unify, you know, whatever spiritual house we're in, whatever our alignments are. But Mother Nature connects with all of us. The moon has a 28-day cycle. We have our 28-day menstrual cycle. So that is just Mother Nature, Metu Netra. That is Mother Nature. So I said to Queen, if we could just bring all the women together every full moon, we can stay unified. We can all look up. It's a full moon. Okay, it's time to come in. Check in. What's our navigation? What are we doing in Europe? What are we doing in the Caribbean? What are we doing in Africa? We have to stay unified. And the moon is a way to help us come together in circle.
That's powerful.
That is.
Yeah.
And I would say, Sister Jaisha, that brings us to a point where, I mean, maybe it's time to speak a little bit about the healing by the light of the moon, you know, and the history behind it, you know, things that it's important for us to know about this journey.
Agreed. I agree. So, Queen Esther, can you talk to us as Majestic said?
Yes, the light of the moon. So that light of the moon work came to me a number of years ago. You know, my mother used to always say, you can always see me in the moon, in the full moon, because the full moon is always something that affects us. We feel a connection emotionally, we feel some connection spiritually. We don't really know what that is, but we know that there's some kind of connection with women and the moon, you know. And really what happens, just to get to the truth of the matter and just being in the nature of the matter, there's 7 days in a week. You know, there are 14 days in 2 weeks. There are 21 days in 3 weeks, and there are 28 days in 4 weeks. That's just the nature. So if there are 28 days in 4 weeks, we are building our lives on a calendar that has 30 days and 31 days. And that has thrown us off our nature because it's only 28 days that the moon has that makes a circle. And our menstrual cycle is also 28 days. So during the Roman Empire, Julius Caesar, he's born in July, Julius, he said, well, I want to have 31 days in my month in July. You see, then his son was Augustus, born in August. He said, I want to have 31 days in the month of August. So they kept tampering with the Gregorian calendar with the days of the month until they shifted all the days. So the only accurate month is actually February, which has 28 days. And all the other months got adjusted away from nature. So it took us out of alignment, out of our rhythm as women. So when we study the light of the moon, it helps us to come forward into communication, understanding the 28-day cycle, getting in alignment with ourselves, getting in alignment with each other, and getting in alignment with nature. You know, everything in the universe is about rhythm, the seasons, the animals. We don't tell the birds when to fly south. We don't tell the bears when to hibernate. We don't tell the salmon when to swim upstream. They're in rhythm with nature. So as women and mothers, when we're out of alignment, our power is diminished because we're not standing in alignment. So the light of the moon is to help us to realize, to get back on the natural schedule, the natural rhythm where we all are in alignment with each other. You know, we have been taken off on misled in so many different areas about our culture. Many people think that our roots have begun in America or in UK. We have to go back to our roots and our culture and our rhythms. You know, if you play some music right now, we'll all start doing our dance differently, but we'll all be on the same rhythm. So the moon is a rhythm keeper for us to stay united. Two years ago, I was in Kemet in Egypt, and I looked and saw the full moon on the Nile. It was 2 a.m. And then I Facebooked in New York. It was 7 p.m. And they said, Queen Esther, we're looking at the full moon, 7 p.m. in New York. I was 2 a.m. in Kemet, where we were looking at the same full moon at the same time.
That's beautiful.
A unifier. So that is my biggest concern for us today as this international circle, that we pull our forces together and unify, because we have to protect ourselves, and the future belongs to Mother Africa, and we have to now look to Africa, which is the future, to be able to protect Africa for the future. And we have a lot of work to do, but we're starting it. We're starting it right now. And the main thing is we have to be excited about our work. You know, I in the Sacred Woman, I focus on the tone. I focus on unity. Queen Afua and I met when we were in our teens. And when we got to be in our early 20s, we began to focus together on the same mission: how to heal our people, how to strengthen our people, how to unite our people. And we've known each other over 30, 35 years, because this is our mission. This is our purpose. So speaking to you as an international circle, We are growing, and we are so excited to reach into you and you into us, because it's going to pull our circles together to do the work for our future. And I'm so honored to be in circle with you. If you all have any questions, please, anyone speak into the call. I'm always about communication. You hearing me? I'm feeling you. Please jump in at any point just to give your view. And I'll also get back to my astrology, because I'll talk to you in a minute about GPS readings. She's an astrologer, so we'll get into that shortly. But anyone, please speak into the call so we can hear how you all are feeling and what your thoughts are.
I wanted to second what you said, Queen Esther. Give thanks for talking about the unity and even shedding light on the moon and the 28-day cycle. And just going into what you said about the unity and the work of what you do and understanding thyself and us as a people where we've come from. This is the reason why International Sister Circle was birthed. And it is so exciting to have, as you said, in Majestic touched on, like-minded women, like-minded people that can help elevate the cause and our purpose and why we're here. And I just get so excited when I have women on the show who can feed into that, who can help build on that knowledge on how we can elevate ourselves, heal ourselves, but also then once we've been able to do that, go and touch other women, so that we can build up our men, so that we can build up our children, so that we can heal our families and yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I'm interested in the 28-day cycle because one of the things for me, like how you said it was in connection with the menstrual cycle, my menstrual cycle has been off for years. And just understanding that, even understanding the moon cycle and healing myself from within, from what I eat, how I sleep, who I come into contact with, that can help, intrigues me because I'm trying to, as I said, heal myself. So I don't know if you could talk a little bit more about that in terms of how we can, as women, if there is anyone else who suffers with that and having their menstrual cycle off balance, how we can actually get that back to a place.
Yes. Well, your cycle being off rhythm, it means that we in our lives, that we are sort of off rhythm. There's so many things happening around us, our work, our family, there's so many things that we deal with as women, because we have a big amount of things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. So when we are not stabilized at the core of us, we feel like we're being pulled, each and every way. But once we stabilize with the Most High, with nature, and we hold tight to our center, everything revolves around us, but our center is locked in. Just being aware. Nobody even thought about the moon being on a 28-day cycle. It never occurred to me that was going to affect me. But then again, why do I have a 28-day menstrual cycle and the moon's on 28 days? That's not a coincidence. That's deeper than us. And as women, they tell us that we have children every 9 months. But if you go 28-20, it's actually 10 months. It's our whole regimen has been thrown off, and when if the woman is thrown off, everything is thrown off. So as we begin to stabilize, to learn the information from sacred women, you'll find that there's just so much information that we're not tapped into. And personally, I want to tap into your magic, that majestic magic that we have when we're in alignment, when we are aware. This has been the biggest problem on the planet, not just oppressing African people, but oppressing the woman who is the mother of life. The Creator chose us to bring life forward. Nothing happens until it comes through our womb. Everyone you see in the planet came through us, and the different spiritual houses. If we look at Christianity and they say the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, well, what happened to the mother? How could you have a father and a son and you don't have a mother? We begin to see how we are alienated out of reality. And if you don't, so these are the beginnings of the problem started so early. When you look at ancient Kemet, you see the Ankh, which is the womb, you see the man, which is the phallic, and you see the two children. Everything in Africa is built on family structure. The family is the key to African culture. And when our families are torn apart and single mother here and fathers over here and the children over there. We're dismantled. So we have to return to our roots. We have to get in tune with our nature, and getting in tune with ourselves as women, we come forward into alignment. You know, when you go to Africa, and Africa is steeped in so much culture and tradition. But one thing, no matter where you go in the world, when we stand as sacred women, we are valid everywhere. When we are respecting ourselves, when we're dignified, when we know how to carry ourselves, when we know our seat, when we know our post, who we are, then we can fit in anywhere. You know, when we live in the Western cultures, we can get denigrated. We don't know what sacred means, so they have made the woman something else. So this work is to bring us back into our royalty, our majesty. So when we go into Africa or anywhere, we have to be accepted because we're respected, because we're respecting ourselves on a higher level. So this is the key to raising the women to their sacredhood, because then it gives you the standards of how you carry yourself as a upcoming queen, you know? And when we deal with the moon and we get in alignment with nature, now we know the truth of who we are, and we begin to balance this earth out again. We begin
Yes.
to and raise up our kings, because our men, how can our men be kings if we're not queens? We are the mothers. And when we raise as queens, then our men also need to raise up as kings. And we do have the Man Heal Thyself Wellness Warriors as a part of our school. So they can also see Man Heal Thyself on Queen's website. And next we're aiming for the daughters, for the teenagers, because why do we allow our daughters to go into all of the madness? Why wouldn't we prevent them? This is the rites of passage. You know, if we're going to go into troubled waters, if we can prevent that, then we would take the daughters and teach them how to move as young women. Otherwise, they go into all the trouble, and then we have to figure it out after the fact. But in wisdom, we want to prevent things for our young daughters, you see? But we just have to start with ourselves first.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's where we
So
are.
give thanks for that. So as you're speaking, at times a lot of times visualize. I like to visualize, and also for our audience, some may or may not know about terms like, what does it mean to be sacred? What does it mean to align thyself with, the divine and the time? And so what would an example of a visual look like for a sister who is on the right clock? So we have 28 days. So let's say the first 7 days or the 14th day, what is it that sisters should be doing that can parallel the time?
Great question. Well, first of all, when we deal with paralleling, we begin to recognize the phases of the moon. The moon has 8 phases. So when does the new moon start? We look at our calendars to see when does the new moon start. So when the new moon start, what do we do in my circles? We start new. New moon, clean the house, clean your space, clean out your car, clean out your pocketbook, clean out your refrigerator. Start new with the new moon. Okay? Get back on your healthy eating regimens. Most of us know how to eat, right? But we tend to slip off. So on the new moon, get back on your healthy eating. Get back on your juices and your alkaline water and your fruit and your vegetables. Clear your system out. Get that system cleaned out. So you want to put your healthy foods back in check. The third thing you want to do on the new moon is start exercising. Start your African dance, your yoga, your walking, your swimming. We have to keep the bodies fit. We have to stay circulating and breathing. So we must do some type of exercise. Whatever works for you, do that, but definitely keep the body activated. So that's what we do on the new moon. We start new with the new moon. So the moon has 8 phases. So on the second phase, I focus on the mental. What are you thinking? Because whatever you're thinking is what you're creating. Sometimes you're feeling depressed or lack or afraid or fear, all these negatives. With that second phase, that crescent moon, I focus on your mental state, your affirmations. I am powerful. I am wealthy. I am strong. We focus on the truth of who we are, and we put that into our mindset so we can shift the mind. You know, the slavery now is a mental slavery, and we have to break those old chains. We have to just see the truth of who I am beautiful. We have to just speak truth into ourselves and lock that into our consciousness, because that is how we shift our world from our mind. So we have to check our mind to see if we're feeding ourselves the positive light, or if we're feeding ourselves negativity. We have to see it and address it and shift to positivity. The third phase, I focus on our spirituality. Our spirituality is what you don't see. Like, you can feel my spirituality. It's what you don't see, but what you can feel. Something told me to call her. Something told me. Something. What is this something? It's our spirituality, and we have to keep it activated. When spirit speaks to us, sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't. I knew I should have done that. I knew. And we have to hear that voice, and we have to activate that voice, and we have to be obedient to that spirituality so that we can receive messages from the Most High, from the ancestors, from each other, beyond technology and the cell phone and the iPads. We have a spirituality, and as African people, we are very spiritual, especially when we're activated. The fourth phase is the gibbous moon, and we have to focus on our prosperity. You know, the universe is not broke. The universe doesn't have a short paycheck. If you think of the abundance of the universe, and we are part of the universe, we have everything. If you think of how many leaves on a tree, how many stars in the sky, how many grains of sand on the beach, the universe is unlimited, and so are we. When we tap into the abundance of the universe, because that is simply the truth. You see, so again, this comes out of the mindset of that we're on this level, we cannot go beyond this. That is all the old slavery mentality. So the gibbous moon, we tap into our abundance, and we all walking abundance. What gifts do we have? Are we using our gifts? Are we manifesting our gifts? And once you bring your gifts to the table, we need to support each other. Everyone has different gifts. She's an astrologer. We need to go to her. Can you do readings for us? Everyone has different strengths. We need to support our sisters in their strengths so that we can make a living off of who we are, who we've been gifted to be in our natural abundance. And then phase 5 is the full moon, when we all come together in the hub of the full moon, the brightness, when the moon is at its peak, and we connect with Jamaica and Haiti and UK and New York and Africa, and we come together, and nothing can stop that. We be beyond technology now. We can look, oh, it's a full moon. I know my sisters are getting together. We don't have to get lost in space. I haven't seen you for 8 months. I haven't seen you for 2 years. No, every full moon, meet me here. No more getting lost in space. We're checking in and navigating and building and steering our way. Then on phase 6 now, the moon is now beginning to disseminate, because the moon takes 2 weeks to ascend and takes 2 weeks to descend. So when we're going up, we're building up. And now when the moon is descending, now we're going more in. We're going into more journaling, going into the mind, going back into what we need to do for ourselves internally. And as the moon continues to descend, the last quarter's here. Don't forget to prepare for the new moon coming up. The new moon is coming. Start cleaning that. You don't wait till the new moon to clean the house. You start cleaning up 2 weeks before the new moon gets there. So by the time the new moon gets there, your house is clean, your car is clean, that purse is clean, your bills are in order, you got your foods in check, you started your exercise. So, you know, it's wellness on a system, so we continue to stay well. The last phase is the balsamic. It's the 8th phase of the moon, and that time we should be more silent, more prayer, more meditative, listen to our dreams, go in. You see, this is what the moon is doing. So, you know, if the moon is going in, this would not be the time to have a big party, because the energy is quiet. You see, but if the moon is going up, is going to the full moon, the energy is rising. This would be the time to give a big event, because the moon is growing, everything is building. So when we know where the phases are, we know how to adjust our lives according to nature, to have nature supporting us. You know, it's like when you see the wave coming on the shore, you don't swim into the wave. You want to get up and come in with the wave, so you have nature to carry you. You see, and if we're all on that same consciousness, then we're all doing the same thing at the same time. We're unified, even if we're not speaking or connecting. We're all doing the same thing. New moon, let's clean it up. So it's a way to stay well consistently, because we tend to get on it and then we slip off. But the moon doesn't slip off.
Ooh, I've got goosebumps from that journey. We literally traveled. Did you feel that? We were like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was zoned in, and you traveled us around the moon to the moon.
Wow.
Amazing. I have another question, but I would love to hear sisters from Michigan, from Florida. Sisters, if you have any questions, those who are watching, as audience, please inbox your questions. We have the queen in our presence, and she is very full of wisdom to share. So please tap into your domes, go into your home, and summon the question. The question will come, right? So I do have a question, but I will wait for the right phase to ask.
Yes.
Okay. Queen Esther, I do have a question. My question is regarding the blood moon. Very rarely we get a blood moon that comes up, and I would like to know, what is your take on that? What is the meaning of that? Because I haven't had anybody to guide me. But every time the blood moon comes out, I take that as a moment to pray, to think on stuff, and I always feel like it's a time of rebirth. So I don't know if I may have
Yes,
been
well,
interpreting it wrong.
the moon is doing different things with us. We all at different places in our reality, but it's just to be aware. All of the different moons, they have a different name. The Native Americans may say this is the harvest moon, or the strawberry moon, or the wolf moon. And at different moons, we do it. Sometimes the moon is closer to the earth, so it's more intense. So that time when you have the full moon, this is a time to release. Sometimes this would be the time for you to write the things that have been, disturbing you. Write them down, and then burn those things up. Let those things go. The moon's intensity is letting us know when to do what. You know what I'm saying? Every moon is valid for us. So I just take every moon is valid to show us something, but that blood moon is going to be more of an intensity for you. When we tune into the moon, we just start acknowledging, we just start hearing, we just start connecting. I one time looked up at the moon and I was like, oh, I said, oh, moon, you look so beautiful. And the moon said, you look beautiful too. And I'm like, are you talking to me? The moon said, I don't see anybody else looking up here. It's just like we all are different spiritual centers, and our information is unlimited. And that's why I said to you, the magic of each one of us. We each have a different set of magic. And just believing that, just knowing that, when the more you activate your spirituality, so many things will be activated inside of you. I might be in the car. I was in the car driving one day, and the traffic was just blocked up, and I was like, I'm sitting in this traffic for an hour. I said, this traffic needs to go. Well, my mind said, just blow, let the car. I just said, move, move, and the car started to move, and I'm like, how did that happen? That was all in my mind. It may have been a coincidence, but it's us believing that we're connected to the universe. And we have to tap in, because honestly, we already know what it means. It's trusting. It's trusting ourselves, because we're all getting different sets of information. And as you were speaking earlier about astrology, I also do GPS readings, which are our galactic purpose signature. When you do astrology or numerology, the astrology tells us where the planets were when we were born, what was happening in Leo, what was happening with your sun sign, what you show to the world. Your moon is what you don't show to the world, but what you feel inside. Your Mercury is the way that you think. Your Mars is the way that you move. The planets are showing us how we function in the world. The GPS is based on showing us what is our purpose. What did we come here to do? What is our mission? What is our assignment? When our mother had contractions, we signed a contract to do a certain work on the planet. And everybody's not interested in helping the planet. Some of us are. We are the healers. We want to make things better. We want to be the solution, not the problem. How can we help? What can we do? That's why we're on this call. Some of us want to know, how can we make the world a better place? And we're considered the planetary family because we want to come together and counsel and say, what do we need to do to help things in Canada? We're the planetary family. So when you get your GPS reading, we're able to identify what you've come to do to assist the planetary family from who you are. You know, what direction do you come from? That's another. See, when you start getting celestial, going to the moon, we start shifting levels. We start going above the 5G, and we tap into the OG, which is the original. You understand? And that's our power, you know. So my beloved queen, so that moon work, we would be honored because you have all of this information. And this is why I opened the communication to speak with each and every one of you. I have lots of information, and guess what? So do you, and so do you, and so do you. And Queen Afua and I, we base our work on Astaneb Het, the original sisterhood. We have to be sisters with each other. We have to love each other. We don't have to deal with the gossiping and the competition and the jealousy. That's not what we're building. We're building sisters, helping and loving each other, being transparent, supporting one another, valuing each other, because each one of us is just as valuable as the next person. And when we love each other, we don't have all the isms and the schisms and the positions. We're all sharing and loving each other together. I, as Queen Esther, I just show you how to love on yourself. I think you're fabulous. I think you need to show up in the world fabulous. I think we need to represent the best of our ancestors. You know, we have a lot of goodness to represent. So I come to remind you to love yourself, to let our people know we are well and strong and we are moving forward. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe, 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 ashe.
Ashe.
More questions? Questions?
Yes, I have a question. So I want to know, what made you get into the program? What were your certain things that you may have been going through to say, you know what, this is a very good concept and a program to reach out to our women, because we all suffer from many different backgrounds and relationships and issues from past trauma.
Yeah. Well, this is a good question. When Queen Afua and I, we were in our teens, and she came to we both live in New York, and we went to a place called the Tree of Life. It's in Harlem, in New York. And we used to go to the Tree of Life, you know, for esoteric information, to hear about being a vegetarian, herbs, healing. It was our place to go for knowledge about wellness. It was right in the middle of 125th Street. So one time they said they were going to have a weekend getaway. They were taking us upstate to learn how to pick the bushes and identify herbs and how to prepare vegan food. It was going to be a healthy, you know, wellness retreat weekend. So I signed up to go on that trip. But I didn't know she was also on the same bus. We were both in our teenagers. And she was on the bus and I was on the bus. And we went upstate. And when we went upstate, all of the leaves and retreats had triggered in Queen like a hay fever, an allergic. She had asthma, allergic reaction. So she went into a bad situation because she started like having an asthma attack. And the spirit told her to drink some more water, to get her lemons, just to sit still in her room. So that's when she began her healing process. And that's as she began to heal herself through that weekend. When she returned, she continued on her healing, and that brought her to where she is from that weekend. I was on that bus, but I didn't know her. I was out picking bushes. You know, we did not connect. When we got into our 20s, I heard Queen speak somewhere. We finally came together, and when she spoke about the work, and both of our parents were Garveyites. My parents used to speak about Africa. You know, we were both into healing at a very early age and just consciousness. So we sat down one day and we began to talk, and we spoke for hours about Africa, about dance, about healing, and we just connected. And we said we had our little circle, and we invited a few women to come into what we called our sister circle. So we started our little sister circle. We would put on our whites. We would come together, burn out candles, speak to each other, you know, become transparent. We would do our prayers. We would light our sage. And then later we continued to grow the circle, and we continued to grow the circle, and the circle began to build. You see, later on when we separated, Queen continued to build the circle until it became the sacred woman. So The Sacred Woman Circle started with she and I being sisters and being in circle with each other to learn and to help each other grow. So I've always been a part of it, you know, and just knowing the value of sharing with each other. Sometimes we have things that we are healing from that we need to release. We have the fears, and the circle is a safe place for us to release, to move forward, to see what are we going through. Here is a safe place for us to grow and to mend and to strengthen and to bond. You see, and now thousands of women have come through Sacred Women training, and we just stay with it because the women are growing, growing, and growing. You see, and I knew, I told Queen, well, if we had started the Moon Circle before I realized it, let's say 10 years ago, look at the thousands of women that would have been meeting at the full moon every month. You see, so now we must now build and stay together. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah.
That was a magnificent story. Thank you. Touched my heart.
Powerful. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So anyone else who hasn't spoken yet? Yes. So I definitely encourage, you know, when you come into the circle, Sacred Women, what it's going to do, it's going to make you comfortable inside your own skin. It's going to help you see the value of who you are. Whatever doubts you have in mind, whatever traumas we've been through, you know, whatever situations we've been through, it's all part of our growth. It's all part of our healing. So we need to release, understand that's what makes us who we are. But we're going to help you understand the beauty of your life. Let's focus on what we've got going for ourselves. We have so much going for ourselves, and we have to just be so thankful for life. We have to see the blessing. Our life is actually a miracle. This is why I get dressed up every day. Every day is the day. I don't let no days get away. Every day is to be your magnificent self because we are living oracles. We're living spirits moving forward in the universe. And you can walk into a room just by walking in and heal the room without saying a word, by knowing what colors to it. What do your colors represent? What does your red signify? What is the meaning of the color red? We learn this in the gateways. Your red is for your fire, your energy, your strength. What does the color white mean? Your purifying, your sacredness. The green, your healing, your heart. The purple, your royalty. This is the information we need to have as
That's
sacred
right.
women.
Yes.
That's right.
You need to know what
So, Queen, um, with those that are watching, myself being in women's empowerment, working with women for practically since my teens,
right.
my question is around value systems. Now, I've got sisters, cousins, and I absolutely love this work. Like it is a part of my being, my purpose, my GPS system.
Right. Yes.
And the sisters on this call, those who I've connected with all over the globe, I feel the same fire. When I spoke to Sister Kaya, Nikima, Jaisha, Renisha, right? It's these sisters, I feel that we value our sisterhood. We value a new way of life, a holistic way. So my question is, how do we, because Satan, I'm going to talk the language of a lot of our people that they understand.
Right.
Satan has made sin fair seeming. This is in the Bible. Right. And so the sins that our people are, the lifestyle that we're taking on, eating around the clock, narcotics, giving your womb to brothers that are not even, this is not to be a blessing for them. It is a curse to ourselves and generations to come. The lifestyles have been shifted. And so our sisters are valuing the wrong things. How do we reteach value so that they can learn to love what we love, and they'll come to the circles and be ready for this healing? Because it's like the GPS has been rewired and put somewhere else. So please, this is a burning question for the people.
Well, that's a good question. Well, we always have to start with ourselves. You know, we have to know that we radiate. We cannot tell people to do this, that we have to do. We magnify. You know, no matter how busy negative forces are, I always say, whatever forces are out there, they don't make the sun rise, and they don't make the moon, and they don't make the stars, and they don't make the ocean. There are illusions that distract people, but the truth is the truth. That is why those of us who are living in the truth, we have to stand on, they have to see examples of truth. In the first place, we have to radiate that with our lives. That's why those of us on the call who've come onto this path, who've come on as healers, when you see Queen Afua, her personality radiates so much light that it's attractive. Each of us on this call are wanting to come into the path. We don't do this work alone. Come into the circle and be empowered by the sisterhood so that when you go into your community, into your family, you are making a difference. I don't try to focus on the neighborhood. I focus on myself. I am that I am. You see, one light can light up a room. You see, so we have to fortify who we are, work with what we have. Don't work with what you don't have. Don't point at that person. We have to be the light. We have to be the example. And there's a time and a season for everything. And the negative forces did rule, but guess what? Their time is up. Their time is up. Not because I said so, because that's the circle. Their season is about done. That's why they're doing everything. They're getting frantic, desperate to confuse us, to put a disease, all this. But what we have to focus on as they're going down, guess what? We are coming up. We are rising. So we have to focus on the rising, not because there's something called karma, and what you put into the universe, what goes around comes around. And all the negative karma that people have put into they have to handle that karma. That's not my karma. We are on the rise. So we must continue to build and be the light and come in with our sisters and talk about what are we going to do for our mother. We have to keep our mind on the prize. You see, we spoke about the young daughters, you know, with all the videos out there and all the sex trafficking, we know all of that's what's happening, but we strive to bring them into the circle where they will get the healing, where they will get the information, where they will come into their sacredness. You understand what I'm talking about? So we have to just be that light, be that force, reach in, because the media is reaching out to our people. We have to reach into our people with what we're doing right now, our programs, our moon circles. We have to move forward because, again, their time is up. So we should not be distracted or in fear. We have to stand on the light, hold our post, and not be afraid. And the fact that we are on this international call right now, it says a lot. We're reaching around the globe right now. See, many people are waking up right now. Many people, because it's time to wake up. 5-10 years ago, people were not dealing with their vegetarianism, with their families. All of a sudden now, because of what time it is universally, we're beginning to wake up now. We're beginning to reach for our entrepreneur. We're beginning to do our own businesses. We're looking at Africa now. This is what time it is in the universe. So I don't have any fear about an illusion. You know, illusions are busy, but I base my life on reality, the breath of life. So we have to shine majestically and do what we do, provide the arena for our daughters to come, provide the arena to teach our men how to be the kings that they are. You know.
Shay.
Woo!
Shay, give thanks.
Queen Esther.
I'll drink to that. Thanks.
We do have a question that is in the comments, and it is, how do we get ourselves back on track to stay on track when we have fallen out of alignment?
Ooh.
Oh, well, it's very simple. You know how we do it? We do it on a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Snap out of it. That's how I snap out of it. Snap out of it.
I like that.
Okay, I might not have 6 months to see you in therapy, but when I see you, snap out of it. Because the truth of the matter is you are the divinity. Okay, whatever you think you are, whatever illness you think you have, I see the light of who you truly are. I see the Most High in you, and that's what I tap into, the reality of who you really are. You understand? I don't worry about your how you see your illness. I rely on my skills as a healer to know the truth and to bring you into life. It doesn't take 20. This is why I say we have the magic. You are my people. I am you. When you look at me, you're looking at you. This is why we have to look wonderful and be strong, because we are mirroring each other. I cannot see myself. I have to see myself through you. What are you showing me about myself? So if you're sad, if you're depressed, come on. If you're not happy, if you're fearful, you're showing me that about myself. No, I'm going to show you this about yourself. Snap out of it. It's a wonderful life. Don't get it twisted. Your life is a miracle, and you only have right now. Yesterday you can't touch. Tomorrow's over there. Here is the playing field that we have. We don't waste our life. Our life is a gift and a miracle. What are we doing with our gift in today, right now? You understand? Because our people went out of alignment because of tricks, of illusions, of delusions, of poison food, poison water, poison media has tricked the people. But guess what? No lie could last forever. No lie could last forever. You understand? And this is why I No lie could last forever. And this is why I keep to move you, navigate you into center, is that we were ripped away from our mother Africa, our treasures, our royalty, our culture, our language, our food, our families. So when we're in this Western civilization, these Western cultures, it's like we're going around a mulberry bush. We're going round and around and around and around and around. Where's all this going? Where are we going? Where is this going? Wait a minute. Let me get back to my root, to my mother, and begin. And not that it's going to be easy adjusting to Africa, but it hasn't been easy in 400 years of slavery either. It hasn't been easy in 400 years of trickery and miseducation. And that hasn't been easy. So our future, I say to you as our future, look to your mother. Our mother still has treasures, has knowledge, has culture, has understanding, what we need to grow in truth. Because other people are still going into Africa, still ripping out of Africa. They're telling us to look away from Africa, but they're still going into Africa. So we have to focus our attention on our mother. All the other cultures have their mother. The Germans have their mother. The Asians have their mother. What about our mother? We don't want to be displaced.
Right.
This is what time it is. You understand what I'm saying?
There is, I am moved to share this. There is a call, and it comes from within. When I love the 1, 2, 3, snap out of it. Because when I was distracted, before I took the Sacred Woman program, 4 years before, there was a call and a yearning that came from within, even though I was distracted. Yes. And I remember, even under narcotics, even under the weight of sin, even under the worst that we could absolutely put our temple and spirit through, yes, there is an internal voice. Yes. In the beginning of the Sacred Woman book, I'll be really quick, Mother Queen Afua, she takes us to the beginning, to Nubian, to Nubia, to Kemet, because as Mother Queen Esther says, the mother, we have to go back to the mother. And I want sisters to know, with every womb in us, with every dome in our zone, there is a voice that is mother that will always call us back. So in the Sacred Woman, I remember at the beginning being introduced to NTR, netter or inter. And I was like, what is this? And my spirit said, nature, NTR. So when we do the 1, 2, 3 snap out of it, no matter the layers of weight, we can always go back to nature. And that would be, think of the plants, think of the water. Queen said today, which I'm learning, no matter what, they don't make the sun rise. They don't make the moon go through the phases. So if we go back to neter, NTR, we are going to begin the journey of awakening. I just had to share that because this was deep. Thank you.
Metu Neter, Mother Nature. My name is Mother, and that's everything. Metu Neter is Mother Nature. That is the mother, and that is the truth. No matter where, and we tap into that, we tap into ourselves. So much has been brought to make us be alienated from ourselves.
Yes.
This is by the drugs and the alcohol and so that you lose your mind. But now it's time to regain your mind. You know, your mind is the most important thing you have. This is why when you go through this healing and this information, you awaken yourselves. But the good news, it's time for the whole planet to wake up right now. It's not a mystery anymore. You know,
Yes.
what can we do to help? What can we do? And just by strengthening ourselves, we strengthen each other. Those of you who have not taken Sacred Women, go into the international and register. This is called taking action, because we can think about, come into the circle, learn from Queen Afua, get the information, meet your other sisters. Let's get on the same page. Let's fortify, let's build that muscle, because we need a strong arm. They're coming with vaccines and all type of things. We have to have a voice. We have to have a unity. We're not putting any strange vaccines in our body. From someone who's trying to destroy us daily, now you want me to take some strange vaccine that's going to do what? I don't believe it. We would prefer to stay healthy. When we deal with staying well, we don't need that kind of situation, because we are working on learning how to heal ourselves, how to purify ourselves. So we don't want to ingest any type of that unknown vaccine. I don't think so. But we have to be unified to have a voice to say no to the vaccine and yes to wellness. We're building cities of wellness. What does wellness mean? Being well physically, being well mentally, being well spiritually, and being well financially. You see, those who have not taken Sacred Women, do yourself a blessing. Join on, get involved. Those who have already taken Sacred Women, join me on the Moon Call, themooncall.com, themooncall.com, and I will teach you how to recognize, how to even to be aware of the phases of the moon, what phase we are on. We come together for every cycle of the moon, and we are the timekeepers. All right, new moon coming up. All right, full moon coming up. We are the timekeepers to keep everybody in alignment. It's time, y'all. Come on. Let's get on it and stay on it, because nature doesn't fall off. Nature is consistent.
Woo. Woo. And will redirect us when needed.
Right.
So, and for those who have never experienced or heard Queen Esther performing, oh my gosh, she has one of the best, the greatest hits called Mother Nature. I brought my brother to Ascension, and he said, and it's very special to me, he said, that is my wife. That is my wife. And he is 20, he was 27. So you need to see and hear her song. Go to her social media and just please watch it. Amazing.
This is so beautiful. Any other questions at all?
On that, there was a question that I had, and you spoke about the positioning that we're in at the moment in terms of awakening. And I saw that we had Brother Lloyd Strayhorn, who was in our comments. I don't know if he's still watching at the moment, but he did put this in the comments, and it was the numbers 2 and 7 are the moon numbers in numerology, and the number 2 rules the full moon, and the number 7 rules the new moon. So talk to us a little bit more. I don't know, Kai, if you can expand on that a little bit more, but talk to us about the phase that we are in at the moment in terms of the awakening and how our numbers are connected with the moon and the new moon.
Kaya? Oh, she's speaking about that.
Peace. People have to figure out the unmute thing. So, yes. The number 2 rules the full moon, so also can rule the intestines, the stomach areas, while we are in tune when the full moon, wherever your cycle tends to fall on, whether it's the new moon or the full moon, that's your lunar moon cycle. When your menstrual come around again, that's a time for cleansing, as Queen Esther already said, a time for cleansing away, shedding away, releasing old negative behaviors and patterns of thinking, thoughts. So that's a time to really get in the tub. Create your own summer bathtub. So with your Epsom salt, your flowers, your roses, your candles, your oils and things, and just get in the tub and just release all those things that was a buildup for you when you get out the tub. As get it run the water as warm as you can take it. And when you get out of the tub for at least 10-15 minutes, you will feel renewed. So, for example, what I do in my own tub, I act like I'm swimming. So I go up under water and I hold my breath for like 30, 40, 60 seconds, see how long I can do it. So those are things I can't go out swimming because of the virus. I just do it in my own home. I have my daughter do it, my son do it, so they can just practice, at least have some practice. You got to find ways to maneuver around this virus while we indoors. So the two rules the full moon because it's more of a higher emotions, as Queen Esther said earlier. Our emotions are high, the blood is high, and the seven is the new moon where everything is coming back, all the circle to start over again. The cycle's all over again. So it's time for new beginnings, new thoughts, new partnership. Wherever you're thinking about something new, like you say, clean your home, clean your car, clean off dust off your windows and your TVs and your doors and clean off your doorknobs and all those kind of things. Just start a new journey and process and stick to it. I know sometimes we do it for 1 and 2 days and think we're gonna do it the third day and we fall off so quick, like wait a minute, and then we fall off for 2 more days and then 3 more days. And it's like, oh my God, when I'm gonna get back together. So the new moon is coming up. I believe it's August 17th to 18th of August and Virgo. So it's in Virgo, I think it is. And so there'll be a time, but the energy to me always feel it between 3 to 5 days prior and 3 to 5 days after. So those would be a good time to start doing your journey or your regimen or your routine and stick to it. We have to stick to it. That's everything is evolved around consistent and being persistent in your due diligence.
Give thanks.
Thank you, Kaya. Give thanks. Thank you. Thank you. And Queen, can you talk to us a little bit more about the time of awakening that we're in at the moment?
Yes, this is a very deep time. Some thousands of just like there used to be a era of the dinosaurs, and that was an era. And we don't see any more dinosaurs because the era is over. That lasted for some thousands of years. The rulership has also been through a 4,000 year cycle. And this is why we have been dominated and been ruled for thousands of years. But again, nature is not stagnant. It's still moving. Even though it's a long time, it's still coming around. And that cycle is up. Now, interestingly enough, it's 28 days in a month. And if you multiply, there are actually 13 moons in a year. So if you multiply 13 moons times 28, it comes to 364 days. So when we're giving 365 days, they're actually a day out of time. And they've tried to extend their time for rulership by adding that day every year, you gaining some more time. But even with gaining the more time, their time is still up. That's why you feel everything crumbling all over the world. Things are crumbling in the US. And everything is crumbling because everyone can see it. It's not like it's a mystery. We can see things are falling apart. And as things are falling apart, they want us to fall apart with them. So this is why it's so important that we don't get distracted and get caught up in their falling when their falling is actually our time to rise. So we have to be preparing ourselves. What is our strategy? What is our navigation? What is our plans? What is our future? Who is navigating our future? We cannot keep expecting our oppressor to do anything for us because they're trying to bring us down. Why would we depend on someone to feed us if they're trying to bring us down? If you've shown me time and time again that you don't like me, if my people are being shot in the street and being in cancer, if everywhere you show me there's no love, why do I keep putting myself in a position to depend on you when you don't care for me? Obviously. You see? So we have to care. We have to begin to create our own type of works, our own entrepreneur, be able to think for ourselves, homeschool our children, educate our children, heal our nation. This is our work. No matter what they are doing, that's their situation. But what is our navigation? Give us a back. No, teach me how to heal myself, how to eat properly. And when we come into circle with each other, like she said, we get on point, we fall off. We need to support each other. This is why we come into circle, to stay on it, to help each other, to assist each other, to love each other. Our people need a lot of love. Love
When
is the
when your next program begins? When?
September. The new moon is going to be September 17th.
Okay.
So they can tune into the mooncrawl.com. Sacred Women is coming up the next Sunday. So they can tune it the 13th for the Sacred Women. And we normally start with Sacred Women because that's where the women get the foundation for who they are, for learning the gateways, building in the Queen's work, dealing with the book. That's where we get our foundation, our roots. And those who have not done that, that would be the good entry point. And once they complete that work, I tell them, now let's go and deal with the moon and get in alignment with the phases. And then once you complete my course, then I encourage the people to go to Dr. Jewel Pookram's class. Dr. Jewel Pookram focuses on the brain balancing. You know, we're only using 10% of our brain. What about the other 90%? You know, we taught how to write with the right hand, not the left. What if we could write with the right hand and the left hand? That way, you see, we balance both parts of our brain because we're only functioning from part of our brain that's being activated. And that's the part that's making us feel like slaves. That let me get my job, my paycheck. What about the part of the brain that says, I'm going to own a bank? I'm going to own a I'm going to own a school system. That part of our brain is not activated.
Come on.
The lesser part is we're looking for someone to give us a paycheck. That inferior part of the brain is what's activated, not the balance where we know that we are one with the divine, infinite things, because the divine is infinite. So we have to activate. These are the different schools we take you through. Sacred Women, Light of the Moon, Dr. Jewel, because we have to navigate our future. So we have to educate ourselves. We have to unite ourselves. We have to love ourselves. Anytime we're killing ourselves in the street, we're not loving on it. We have to be re-educated about the value of who we are and see that in each other. We have to build our own nation now. Yes, we must.
We are so humbled. I say we because I know I see the sisters' faces. I feel their energy, and all who are watching today. We are coming to a close very shortly. We want to thank you so much. Please connect with. I chose and was led to connect with the ISC. The Most High said, you need to speak to Sister Jaisha. You need to connect with Sister Kaya, you know, Nakima, Renisha, all of the sisters. I'm grateful and truly honored. We thank Black Ice TV for this platform for us today and our supporters. New Beginnings, Brother Terry, you know, he's always such a soldier in the background. Thank you so much, Queen Esther. I love you, and I am so humbled to continue this work. You made me stronger today. You made me more empowered today. And so, and Queens, I love you all. And that's all I had to share because I was moved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone that did not speak. I see Ronisha, your assistant. Anything that you wanted to say? Everybody's valid. Did you want to? That's your sister, man. Did she want to say something? Anything? Yes. This is Ronisha's sister. Yes.
Yes, I just want to thank you for the information for today, and I learned so much today, and I'm very humbled to be in your presence. So thank you so much. So
I'm
very
grateful
honored.
and thankful. And my main key is, what are we going to do from now on? Now we're activated. Now I'm looking for you on the new moon, the full moon. I'm looking for you at Sacred Women. Now let's take this to the next level. We have to look at the mother. We have a lot of work to do. And each one of us brings something different to the table. Each one of us carry a entourage of ancestors. Each one of us has different resources, different connections, different networks, strategies. We all have different information to help our situation. So let's take this call and take it to the next level. We're moving it. When you
Sure.
see the new moon coming up on the
Yes,
17th, I'm
that's it.
connecting spiritually. On the next full moon, you will see me because I'm implanting that in your mind right now. Tap in, tune in, do the
Yes,
paperwork. Now we got to take it.
yes,
We give thanks to
there.
our beloved Queen Afua for setting the foundation for sacred women that's ringing around the globe.
Yes,
So let's take it to the
yes,
next level, my beloveds. Let's activate all that we are. Let's activate the majestic
yes,
magic that we all are, and let us not buy into the illusion. Let's not go back to sleep. Let's not get comatose. Let's not get
Right.
distracted, but stay in the magic. Stay in the light. Let's stay in tune by the light of the moon, themooncall.com. And I look forward to you all. And thank you, our brother Terry. Supernova and Hallelujah are running Man Heal Thyself. Got to get our kings up. Because when you raise a king and a queen, game over. Game over. Ashe.
yes.
Now we're in alignment. Ashe, family. Thank you all so much.
Yes.
We kind of link
It's
back
an
in
honor
there.
to be here to see you again. Give thanks. Ashe.
Sister Young, Sister Young, Young Kel, Sister Young Kel.
Hiya.
Yes, yes, sister. I didn't come on earlier. You are from where?
From the UK, London.
Hey, welcome. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to quickly just say something. I mean, I just want to quickly say something. It's just an observation. I don't know if you guys saw on the Monday just gone. Did you guys see the moon? Did you see the color of it?
Yeah.
It was like an orange yellow, and it was very
Yes.
close to us.
Orange
Did you
yellow,
guys
yes.
see that?
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
from the. Did
We saw
everybody see
that.
that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody?
We saw that. We did.
Amazing.
Everybody.
So for me today, like I've learned how significant the universe is with us. Like we're connected to the sun, to the moon. Like everything is connected. And I was brought up from church, and so I was led to believe that we shouldn't like dwell on astrology and all these things. And so for a while I didn't, but I feel like I'm coming back to who I originally am, and I'm embracing the moon, embracing my star sign of when I was born, and just trying to just connect everything together like a puzzle. So today was really important for me to hear, because I didn't realize how relevant the moon is to us when it comes to our womb. I had no idea. So I will take close observation of my body and the moon and what it's actually indicating.
Thank you for sharing that, Queen.
Yes.
Thank you.
And astrology,
Thank you.
the Cancer is ruled by the moon. The sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon, correct? And Cancer is a sign of mother, of
Hold on, wait a
nurturing,
minute.
of love, of
Sorry, I didn't tell you that I
sensitivity.
was a Cancer.
Say that-
I didn't tell you I was a Cancer. I am a Cancer.
That's just spirit.
Ah.
I am a Cancer. But I never told you I was a Cancer. Oh my gosh.
And then
Ashe.
I don't know, but that's when spirit is moving.
Wow. Wow.
I never.
Needed to say that.
Did you guys hear that? I did not say I was a Cancer, but I am.
Wow. Wow.
That's why you're more sensitive, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, and the Cancer is the sign of the moon, of the mother. Like Ra is the sun, Leo is ruled by the father. The Ra, the sunlight, is the male sign, Leo the lion. If you can think about Leo the lion, but the moon is Cancer, the mother, the nurturer, the sensitivity, the emotions. That is what the moon rules. The tides, the water. So you are a Cancer, so you're more sensitive because that's your ruling planet. So this is why she had to jump in at the end and speak about that. And I
Sorry.
didn't know to say that I didn't know that she was a Cancer at all. But that's the spirit.
Amazing.
That's the spirituality. Ashe.
Amazing.
See,
Ashe.
that's your
Wow.
spirituality. That's your spirituality. Something says mention cancer. Why should I? Don't ask me why. Just speak it. Okay, that's your spirituality. And that's directed for me. It's personal for everyone. So that's just a simple example of when we listen to spirit and when we're obedient and we don't question it. When we just be obedient, it will reveal itself because through the whole conversation, I never thought to mention about the moon being ruled by Cancer until this moment. But
Ashe.
that's being attentive, listening, and being obedient because it will take you where you need to be. And it's just for you if we're obedient. That's our spirituality. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Welcome to the ISC.
No.
Now, does he have 2 minutes? Do we have 1 minute left?
We do.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd just like to end with this poem. I just like to end to this poem just to give thanks to the universe. And the poem just quickly says, I just want to thank you because I can clearly see that you didn't have to do it, but you created me. You made the endless sky and you made the deep blue sea, and still you took the time to even make me. I could have been a buffalo running with the herd. I could have been an antelope or a tiny bird. I could be the wind blowing or a firm rooted tree, but you had another purpose when you created me. I could have been a
Wow.
snail with my house on my back. I could have been a cow turned into a Big Mac. I could be the wind blowing or a firm rooted tree, but you had another purpose when you created me. You always trying to help me grow, so you give me little tests, and I will do much better, and I'll strive to do my best. From a tiny seed in the earth, you make flowers bloom. You even made a special place for me right in my mother's womb. You gave me
Wow.
arms that I could hug. You gave me feet to move, and then you dropped some soul on me so I could feel a groove. You even gave me a brain so I could help co-create. So we went and made a TV so we could stay up late. You even taught me
Hey.
how to fight back, how to push and how to shove. But then you opened up my heart and you taught me how to love. So no matter where I go and no matter what I do, what goes around comes around. And it always comes right round to you. And though my life is busy, you know how life can be, but I'll always make the time for you because you made the time for me.
Come
Ashe.
on, man.
Give thanks.
Ashe.
Ashe.
All
Ashe.
Ashe.
so
Thank
good. Ashe.
you so
All,
much.
Beautiful.
thank you so much, beloveds, everyone.
Thank
Look at my
you.
majestic. Oh,
Amazing.
majestic. That's a.
Amazing.
I just tried to remind you of how valuable you are, how divine you
Mm.
still are. Ashe. Thank you,
Ashe.
Abiyah.
You know, sisters, with all that we received today, please, why I'm tearing is it was powerful, but because I love you and I'm so full to go out and to get more sisters, to attract more sisters back to home. We have a duty to our people. We are receiving wisdom from the ancestors, from the master teachers in our presence. So please, sisters, I love you and love another sister. We are this is beautiful, Queen Esther. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all.
We
Thank you
love you
all.
too, Majestic.
We
We
love
love
you.
you
Ashe.
too.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Give thanks and praise to the
Guys,
Most.
just
Wow.
one more thing to say. Thank you to all the beautiful queens that came on. Thank you so much, Queen Esther, for blessing us, for sharing with us, for imparting knowledge on us. We really, really raise you up. If there's anyone who this is the first time you've ever come to our show and you want to find out more information, you want to be a part of the ISC, a sister circle, a womanhood, a sisterhood, a bonding, go to our website, internationalsistercircle.com, find out more. If you want to know more about the Sacred Woman Rites of Passage program starting September 13th, send us an email, sacredwoman@internationalsistercircle.com. We have a beautiful, majestic, our practitioner on hand to answer any of your questions. If you need to speak to her one-on-one, she is available to do so. If there's anything that you need from us, we're here to help. This is the whole part of what we are, what we do, who we are, to be our sister's keeper. I am part of International Sister Circle because you are here. Thank you. Thank you to Black Eyes TV7. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we will see you back here next week, Sunday, 3 p.m. once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sisters. Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
After party, sisters. Backstage.
Meet up in Ghana. Meet up in Ghana.
Ashe.
If we all mute ourselves, we wait for Terry in the background to close us out. And sisters, we do usually stay on once the show is finished. Just stay backstage. We have a quick conversation with one another. But thank you again, and we'll wait for Terry to close us out.
Thank you, beloveds. I'll see you all next time.
Thank you. Peace.
Give thanks. Ashe.
Good thanks. Ashe.
Let's see how
Give
we
thanks,
close.
Queen.
Ashe. Listen again. Give thanks.
You say stay on.